Alright, so yeah. I always want to walk down here, because you never know what the imitation's doing. I mean, look what the Garen's doing the same thing, right? So, but I mean, this is what a lot of people did to Sela. They just, he's in club tag lit. He's probably just smoking a bowl right now, just like while waiting for the game. Hey, El Geronimo 96, thanks for a prompt. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah. So if you're on red side, you want to sit at the top of this bush, and if you're on blue side, you want to sit right here. That way you can watch this entrance and this entrance at the same time. If you sit in this bush, they can sneak around you here and walk into you. But if you sit here, you can watch here and here.
Okay.
And if you sit at the top of this bush, even if they invade and throw those skill shots at the front of the bush where people usually stand, you can actually sit at the top of the bush and still watch the entirety of this entrance. Plus you can see people a little bit further up if they go through here on you. Alright, so, again, like, look how close you are to the Garen here when you're autoing. Like, this is just, free real estate for Garen to just walk up and Q you, right? And you see how you're basically within his melee range when you walked up and Q'd? The entire time. But also, the Vital showed up on the right side as you're exiting. You could have hit that Vital on the way out and actually still won the trade. Even with that, just because you have hit an extra Vital and disengaged. So, gotta manage your Vitals just a little bit better. Like, see where the Vital's coming up next after you hit the first one. And see if you can't work your way to the next one to disengage. So you walked back to reset the Vital. That's good. The Garen's shoving into you. Right now, you're just sitting back and chilling. Now, I do have an issue with this trade right here. So you went in for the Vital, right? But again, you went too close, and you went within this big minion wave, so you're also taking damage not only from Garen's Q, but from the entire minion wave same time. And you see how you hit the Vital here? You hit the Vital here, and then you didn't instantly, disengage backward. You, walked back down and just absorbed the whole spin instead of just walking straight up, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what caused that.
I think maybe I was trying to learn from the second instance, where be aware where the other Vital is and just get it. But
Okay, so we can actually watch this, right? So I'm gonna bring it up on the your old VOD. So this was at 244. Let's look up on the VOD. Get a 244 here. Alright. Let's look up on the VOD. Let's look at your mouse cursor. So you're walking up, right? And then you literally just clicked your mouse back down. So let me put this in slow-mo. Look at your mouse cursor. So you move back up. This is the correct move to disengage from him, right? Especially since you burn his bone plating, you want to cut away from his enemy minions. And then for whatever reason, you're right. You click to go for the other Vital. The reason why you don't want to do this here is you don't want to now if the Vital had showed up on the right side here, going back towards your escape path, that's good to take. You hit that Vital, you hit the Vital going towards your escape path, perfect. But since the Vital showed up going away from your escape path, going into his trade right here is really bad. Because not only did he not hit the Vital when you went for this, because he ended up just spinning around, you misclicked him or whatever. But also, you're just sitting within his mini wave being pelted and getting spun on at the same time. It's impossible for the battle to show up east if the previous one was north. So it goes south to east and then north to west.
Okay.
Okay. I honestly didn't know that about Fiora. That's a good tip, though.
For sure.
It's always west, south, north, and east. Okay. That's good now. Honestly, I haven't played a whole ton of Fiora. But I know her, like, basics. That's, like... I would say it's probably pretty advanced knowledge, but obviously could help out there, right? Because you can kind of predict, like, where the next one's going to be. Yeah, that might help me out with my tournament gameplay against Fiora, too. Because now if I can know exactly where the next battle is going to be after she hits one, I can move against it. Hey, what's up, Purcell? And of course, level W, level 2 always. Yeah, so here, you have a minion advantage, but since your health is kind of low, it's hard for you to trade with him, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, while you're clearing up these minions, and we're about to hit level 4, we could use a potion here, and then hit that vital, right? Yeah, knowing how close you were to level 4. Like, hit the minion, hit the vital, and use your potion, and if he commits onto us, we could use level 4 advantage against him.
I don't know how I hit level 4 before him. I guess it didn't really matter. There's only a couple minions, but...
Yeah, so right here. When we riposte, right? Riposting that was perfect. But now, you know, since this one was on the right side, you can see the next one coming up. You can queue back over towards the left and disengage down.
Sure, that makes sense.
Like if you want to. And that would kite him out as well, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have Q.
And after, you know, Garen has his Q and E down, he really doesn't have anything left other than auto attacks, right? And that's where, like, your extended trade can potentially do some work on him. Alright. Every single time you take a trade and Garen's close to punish you, you have to be ready to queue away from him. This is poor reaction, and like, we should always try to position ourselves as far away from Garen as possible when CSing. So like, when we walk up for this CS, we should not only position to get the CS, but instead of walking here, we could have, like, walked and did it from up here, kite within our own minions, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, down here, like, I actually would exit this trade going down and hit that battle going down just to get the little bit of HP back, because, I mean, it's 58 health. It's actually pretty significant. Graves comes up for the kill. Yeah, if Graves helps shove you in, this is really good. Now you got a little bit of an advantage. I'd tell you to rush the Vamp Scepter and regen, just so you can stay close to full HP. Because if Garen can't short trade you down and get you to a point where he can burst you with his all-in, then your all-in is actually significantly better. Yep, so everything was used here. We got his W, you know, off cooldown, whatever. So if he queues up again, and he wastes his spin, this is when I told you to go all in, because he just wasted his spin, right? And he's got no W up. Now, right here, this is when I'd want you to ulti. I would want you to ulti, hit the Vital on the right, and instantly go down. And hit the Vital closest to his wall, because that's where he tried to deny you, right? And, like, hug a wall to protect his Vital. So what you did, you hit the Vital, and then instantly went into the ulti. And you managed to get the one below him, even though he tried to cover it. Which is really good. But also you need to be patient with your W here. And focus more on, like, if you do use it, try to focus more on hitting him. But honestly, you don't even need to use W here, because you just set nothing up.
I think I was trying to hit the W just to slow him, because I think if you land a W, it slows him. So I thought it'd be easy to proc the other vitals.
Yep. Like, when a Fiora's all-inning me and I'm playing Trend, what the Fiora actually do, he'll just ulti into W immediately. That way he can slow me down enough to catch up to my vitals. Now, I wouldn't do that against Garen. I would always save it for his burst. But against Trend, you know, the burst is, you know, literally just auto, so the attack speed slow is good enough. That was good back. Went and got a pickaxe here. Now this is when it started to go downhill, right? So let's evaluate that all-in, where we burned his W cooldown and went for the Vital properly. And got all 4 Vitals. And let's compare it to this next all-in you do.
I think I don't think it's an all-in. At least I don't choose to all-in. He all-ins me, right?
Well, this was a beautiful. This was a beautiful Q. So like here, if you can get your Q like that every time, it's going to be extremely hard for Garen to trade back into you. And if he does Q into you, and he is able to catch up because he's got boots, because he's got phage and all that, then you have plenty of time to react and like riposte the Q and go into your ulti.
Yeah, I think I probably wasted W trying to hit the Vital.
Yeah, just hit the Vital. Save your W always to counter burst. You can't just use W randomly here, right? And not only do you use it randomly, you kind of hit nothing.
That's true.
So, we burned his W, but our W was used. Now, while our W's on cooldown, Garen can just go straight up ham into you in full commit because he doesn't have to worry about you riposting his damage, and he could just all-in you. So have to be extremely careful. Plus the Vital's on his backside, right? So right here, we walk up and we trade into Garen while we have no W up. We should only trade, like, we can trade into him, right? It's no big deal. But we gotta use our lunge, and we gotta stay outside of his range so it's easy for us to kite him out. And we never hit that Vital till the end, and it's too late. He already got enough damage to burst us.
Yeah.
So, got to, you know, pick him apart, man. Gotta take short trades where he can't get damage back, because use that Vital move speed to your advantage. So, yeah, if your Vital's 24 seconds, I'll win, if I remember correctly. And from here, it gets kind of bad. I think the next all-in, he, yeah, next all-in's here. So if you see him go for this turret, one, stop wasting your E on minions. Like, this was a full HP minion. You didn't even use E to, like, make sure you get it. You were just using your E just because, you know, it's going to be a waste of mana. And two, like, it could have been important for this all-in, right? Now, you see how you hit the bottom vital, and then you ultied? You should ulti, hit the top vital first, to force him to walk down to try to protect his other vitals. And that can help you protect this turret a little bit better. But now he just sits topside, and it's really hard for you to hit this, right? And you end up missing the W. Use W just on the spin. You didn't use it to riposte his ulti or anything. So, like, if you had W here, maybe you can riposte an auto attack, Q forward, hit, you know, whatever. Maybe you can get a kill. Who knows? But because you keep riposting nothing, and you keep riposting during the spin animation, you're not riposting Q, you're not riposting ult, you know, it just ends up being kind of a waste, right? That's probably your biggest thing mechanically with VR. The other one is just picking your spots, maintaining a distance on your Qs, and making sure on your ulti that you hit the top vital first. And then from that point, it's kind of tragic.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
the rest. But yeah, let's see if we can't get you a Garen game. So go ahead and let up.